My internship experience has been incredible. I feel like I've not only um, explored the biotech career field, but also learned a lot about myself, what I want and what I feel like I don't like. And also, one key memorable experience for me is the seminar series for interns.
Some key moments in my internship were definitely the interactions I had with my coworkers, because for me, it was the daily things that really made it worth it to come in every day and just enjoy being there with them. And I think a key challenge would have had to be getting used to how a company is organized, especially in a lab setting, compared to how it might be organized in a laboratory class setting with different goals in mind.
Experience has been amazing. I've grown in a way where I would say I became more confident as an individual and professionally. And I've also learned to get out of my comfort zone to um, make new friendships and meet new people, and also make more connections to be able to learn and find more opportunities into where I want to go in my career.
My internship at the Global Blood Therapeutics has gone really great. Everybody who I've met has been very sweet, kind, and genuine and inclusive people. And they've been very patient with my questions that I've had about tasks that I've done, which I've really appreciated. For memorable moments, one would be my task in analyzing survey results for the total rewards team. I really enjoyed doing that.
When speaking with respect to my future aspirations, I'm a physicist, and going into this, I wanted to go into the astronomy field. And while that still does remain the same, working at for a biotechnology company was a very, I want to say, very interesting experience for me, because it kind of opens up, it kind of like puts it into reality that a biotechnology company isn't particularly weighed down by the thing it initially says itself. And what I mean by that is that despite me working for a computational chemistry team, I'm not directly working with chemists. Rather, I'm working with computer scientists, which is a very interesting niche, considering the initial impressions you would get from a biotechnology company is that they work directly in the laboratory, when that's not actually the case, because there's various problems that can be solved by different teams, either in business, in HR, or in computational, like myself. Like for the most part, I've been working completely with Python and coding a lot of stuff for the most part throughout my time here. And I think that was just a very interesting thing, because it kind of like puts into perspective. It's like, despite me being a physicist, I don't particularly have to expect a specific and only like a concentrated niche when I'm going into the job field. And what I mean by that is that I guess there could be a lot of varying job opportunities, job fields, and other openings that could require different things, just from aside from a specific thing that a company states itself to be. I thought that was pretty interesting.
I always thought about a career in medical research. However, now I don't necessarily think I will pursue it. This internship allowed me to experience being a research intern. However, I recognize that this is not the career for me. Although I enjoyed all the work that I did, I realized that I look forward to having a career in medicine where I will have more interaction with patients.
Experience actually changed my future career aspirations. So growing up, I always wanted to be a physical therapist, and I was very sure that that was going to be my path. After tearing my ACL twice and having two surgeries, I fell in love with the idea of helping people recover and growing their muscles. So I took on this internship experience just to gain exposure to what it meant to be in biotech, because I didn't even know this was a future career path until joining Project Onramp. So I'm very thankful that I had this experience, because it definitely shifted my mindset towards being more open to other future opportunities in science, as well as just expanding my perception of the various career opportunities out there.
One saying that became abundantly clear to me is the importance of who you know. If I had just focused on my project tasks, I would have still gained a lot from a perspective of technical skills, but I felt that my experience was much more rich as a result of my efforts to join in on different calls, to talk to individuals from sectors of the company outside of the department where I was working. And it was through this exploration that I obtained a greater understanding of how my department is fit into the greater efforts of the company, the drug development process from initial discovery to approval, as well as prospects for the future of biotech and pharma. So acting on curiosity and exploring your interests are key to a successful internship, is what I learned.
Something that I learned while working in the biotech industry is that money is time. And another thing is that collaboration is key. So depending on how big the company or how small the company, there are many parts or many departments that all work together to become one. And I think at Sutro, I was able to put my input as well as receive feedback and really become a team member of the quality control team.
Some takeaways I would have from this internship is 1, give 110% no matter what it is. If it's an email, a project, no matter what, you always want to make sure you're trying your best. The second takeaway I would have is don't ever get discouraged. A lot of times you're not going to get it right the very first time. Don't get discouraged, don't give up, keep trying, and don't be too hard on yourself.
A key takeaway that I have from my internship is to be comfortable taking a step outside of your comfort zone.
Some advice I would give to future interns is to have that confidence and have that surety of yourself when stepping into different internship spaces, because it's really important that although it may be a little hard, that you have confidence in yourself and are sure about what you want to do in the space you're coming into.
A tip that I have for future Project Onramp Bay Area interns is to come ready to learn and excited for what you're going to do.
Being an intern can be intimidating, but putting yourself out there and doing the best that you can is important.
Alright, so my main point of guidance for future interns would be to truly consider yourself an employee. And the reason I suggest this is because the title of intern may lead you to believe that because you're only working at your respective company or organization for a short amount of time, you are entitled to the same benefits as long-term employees, and that simply isn't the case. Put in the effort to make use of the resources available starting day one, and set up informational interviews with people whose positions or lines of work you find interesting, because it may just be that you decide to return back to the company to work long-term one day. So demonstrate your eagerness to get involved early on.
My advice to anyone that will be having an internship in the biotech industry or any sort of internship is to make sure to ask a lot of questions. Don't be shy. I know it can be really intimidating, but everyone loves to talk and loves when you ask them questions. So don't be shy. Step out of your comfort zone and ask questions, and also be yourself. Like, always stay true to yourself, follow your passions. I think that's really important.
A tip that I have for future interns is to take advantage of the transition time at the beginning of their internship and ask a lot of questions.
I'd say as a general tip, don't stress too much about it, about whatever there is and everything there is to stress about during an internship. Don't stress too much about it. Everybody's human. Just talk it out, right? Take those days off if you need to. Whatever it is, change of plans, just talk it out. And as a segue to that, my second tip would be to definitely give yourself time for you and your break. Enjoy your summer. It's one of your only summers before you possibly become a working person. Enjoy it. Leave 2 weeks before and after your internship minimum to enjoy life while you still can.
I think I will advise future interns to start this opportunity with a positive and growth mindset, to also stand with their beliefs and values.
One of the biggest tips or insights that I would give a new intern would be to, during your time at a specific company or a specific where lab you're at, try your best to make connections with not only your fellow interns, but also coworkers.
Some tips that I would have for future Project Onramp Bay Area interns would be to go into your internship with an open mind, and just get out of your own way. Don't get too into your head. Know that those people that you are going to be working with in those professional settings are there to help you and to give you an insight on what careers you could be doing in the future, and just try to make connections and learn from these people as much as you possibly can.
Some tips I have for interns are to stay organized, to have fun, and to network and make sure that you're growing as you're learning.
Don't be afraid to ask questions. I know a lot of times people think that they're going to get in trouble for asking for clarification. That will never be the case. If anything, it's helping you out, it's helping them out. You will do your project 110% better. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And lastly, I would say it doesn't matter your background, what school you go to, how many internships you've had before. None of that matters. Just come in having a strong attitude and put 110% and you'll be great.